Sounds good. Okay. Welcome everyone to another session of the Kaleidoscope series, Akhila's and my dream project. I hope you all had a great start to 2021. And to make it even more meaningful this year and throughout the year, our speaker today, Akhila, is going to help us reflect on 2020 and allow us and help us set our intentions for 2021. Before we start, just like every other session, a gentle reminder that we will keep you all muted for a better listening experience during the session and to allow for thoughts and feelings to flow naturally. So let's get started then. Akhila, over to you. Just remember that you're recording. Okay, perfect.
Yes, I've started. Good. Thank you so much. Welcome everyone. Happy New Year to all of you. And thank you for encouraging us on the Kaleidoscope series in 2020. And we are hoping that you'll continue to join our sessions in 2021 as well. We have a lot of new ideas planned for 2021. Um, I'm hoping that I'm sure that this year will bring to you all everything that you wished for, everything that you are asking for. And this is not some, naive wishful thinking that somehow Corona will go away or that just because it is a new year, things will change for us, right? So that's not the reason I'm saying that all your dreams will come true. The reason I'm saying that is, this whole practice of, setting intentions in a meditative practice, right, means that all of those intentions that you set for yourself will actually manifest. So that is the reason I'm pretty sure that what we do today will actually materialize in 2021. So as we mentioned in our flyers, it's a participative session. So I hope you all have your notebooks and pens handy. Good.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Hey, Akhila, just one quick thing before we go ahead. I think I am not the co-host on this one, so could one of you, I think Damo's logged in as you, so looks like he's the co-host. So could you make me the co-host, please?
Let me just do that. Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Good. So what we'll do today is, we'll use the first half of the session to reflect on 2020. And then the second half to set intentions in specific areas of our life for 2021. So I have two questions for you before we start. How many of you have done this kind of intention setting or a goal setting exercise before, and what has been your experience? That's my first question, actually. Anyone that has done this? Okay, Nabila has done it.
I have done it mentally, not recorded.
Okay, that's good. So you've not written it down, you're saying, right? And now you've thought about it.
Yes, yes.
Okay, awesome.
Kila Shrikant here. Typically, I've done it for my, units in Infosys.
Yes.
So I've not done much for myself. So
Yeah. We all do it in the corporate world, right? Every year we set goals and we track to them and have metrics and so on. I guess that exhausts us and we don't do it for ourselves. Good. The second question is, how many of you journal? How do you write a diary? Do you keep a diary of your thoughts or your feelings and experiences? Okay, I see Veena ka saying no.
I don't keep a diary, but I have a habit of noting down what I read some good things, or what I would like to remember, and and again read such things. I note down, but not what I do every day.
Yeah. Awesome. That's a good practice. So if you've not done any of these activities before, not to fret, not to worry. I mean, this is not, some great rocket science that you have to learn something and do it and all that. So there's always a first time to do things. And it's not that I am an expert at it. right? It's just that I have done this regularly over the past few years, maybe 2, 3, 4 years, and I found it useful, and so I thought of sharing it with all of you. So let me give you a brief idea of how this will work, right? So I'll start by, giving you an introduction to each part that we'll be talking about today. And then I'll ask you some questions for you to think for yourself, right? And then you will write it down, any feelings or any thoughts about the question that I've asked, you will write it down in your notebook. What you're writing is for your eyes only. You'll not be asked to share this with the audience. So don't worry about, your grammar or what others will think about it and any of those things, right? This is an exercise just for you. It is about your feelings. Nobody can tell you how to feel or why you feel a certain way and so on. And it's also for your development in 2021. So no one else has a say on it, right? So this is how we will work through this session today. So with that said, let's get started. So the first part is reflection. So it's basically looking back at an event or a situation, or like in today's instance, like an entire year, looking back at it, and looking back with a witness attitude, without any judgment or, without feeling this was good or bad or anything of that, right? So you're just, witnessing what all happened in this past year. And then, it's called as Sakshi Bhava in yogic philosophy, right? So you think, reflect back on what happened, and then what is it that you're feeling about it, and then you will just write that down. So I just want to clarify something at this point of time. I will be using some of these Sanskrita words from the yoga philosophy. That does not mean that this is a religious practice. So this is a spiritual practice. So since there are some, typically there are some youngsters on the group, I don't see them today. So I just wanted to clarify because, I'm guessing that they might have heard of these words, mostly in a religious context, right? So I just wanted to clarify that. So coming back to reflection, I feel that this is something useful for us to do every now and then, not just at the end of the year. So like we say, we learn from life's experiences, right? So I feel that we don't learn from the experience itself. We learn when we reflect on that experience. So let's say, we've been recently promoted to become a manager, or we got recently married, or, you had a baby, or, you're learning something new, like, maybe you're learning to cook, or maybe draw rangolis, or you're losing weight, or any of these things that you're trying to do, right? So there is the whole doing part of it. There are a lot of things to learn, a lot of things to do, many people to take care of, to be accountable for, all of these things, and it feels overwhelming, or even if you're enjoying a lot of these things, right? So that's the experiencing part of it. But at regular intervals, whatever it is for that thing that you're doing, if you're not taking time out to figure how you felt, what did you do well, what did you like, what did you not like, you'll never know what this experience taught you, and what is the direction ahead for you, right? Maybe you felt, being a manager is not for you, or maybe you felt, you like this thing but you don't like certain aspects of it, right? Or maybe you went through the whole thing and you don't really know why it worked, right? And sometimes you may also think, why did I even start this? So unless you reflect on that, you will not know, what that whole thing taught you, right? And it'll just be, time goes by and it'll be yet another thing we did. And let's say the same situation presents to us again, we won't be better off to handle it. So that's my experience. I mean, my thinking that I feel that experience plus reflection will lead to learning, and that learning is about ourselves, right? So that we become better versions of ourselves. And reflection is what we do when we write a journal, or keep a diary of our thoughts and so on. So it helps us understand ourselves a lot, and that helps us become better, right? So you're bringing a lot of awareness to your own thinking, your own feeling, and so on. So today we'll try doing some of that, right? So with that context, so let's get started. We will reflect on 2020 now, right? So it's been a challenging year for most people, right? Um, and it's impacted people very differently. For youngsters versus elders, for the working people versus the business people, for men versus women. And so each of our experience may be very different. And even if we are in the same house, we may be impacted very differently by it, right? Because each of us experience things very differently. So let's take a few moments to reflect on 2020 and how we felt. I just also want to tell you that at any point in this exercise, if you feel overwhelmed by any emotion and you want to go off video, please feel free to do that. So it's important for all of us to acknowledge our feelings and release it and make it a more private practice, right? So with that said, we will start with the reflection on 2020. So close your eyes for a few moments and breathe deeply. Long deep inhales, long deep exhales. Think back to the year that was 2020. What were you doing in January 2020? How did you feel at the beginning of the year? What happened in February? How about March? For us in India, there was a lockdown at some point of time. How did the lockdown go for you? Did you have trouble getting essentials? Were you worried about your loved ones that you could not meet? How about April? Did you panic? Were you worried? Then came May. Feel the emotions that you felt back then. Think back to June. How did you feel about Unlock 1.0? Was July any better? Did you cook something new? Were you an expert on Zoom by now? How did August go? All the festivals had started by then. What was your experience? Moving on to September, what was your state of mind? October, did you think it would soon end? November, how did you celebrate Deepavali? And lastly, December. Think back about what was happening in your world in 2020. Let all the feelings come to the top of your mind. Slowly blink open your eyes and write down in your notebook, 2020 to me was, and complete that sentence in your notebook. What was 2020 for you? It can be a word, it can be a sentence, a couple of sentences, whatever comes to your mind immediately. 2020 Makakashashila. You can write down in the language of your choice. As you write, let me tell you a little bit of my experience. For me personally, 2020 was a good year. 2019 was a terrible year in contrast. So I'm forever grateful that God chose to give me all my life's problems in 2019. I cannot imagine having them in 2020. So the overwhelming feeling for me about 2020 was, a lot of gratitude and love. I changed my job. Damu and I spent countless hours together, investing in our relationship. I worked on my health goals and achieved most of them. So for me, it was a really, good year. And to think that I'm only among a handful of people who had such a blessed life, while so many people were losing jobs, migrating back to hometowns, getting sick, and so on. So for me, I'm very, very thankful to God. What was 2020 for you? Write it down again, like I said before, this is only for yourself. Good if most of you are done. We'll move to the next question then. So 2020 taught me, and complete that sentence. What did 2020 teach you? What lessons did you learn that you will take with you to 2021 and perhaps the rest of your life? Did you enjoy your alone time or your family time, depending on the situation you were in? Did you realize you were good at something, cooking, counseling, cleaning? Did you have a mindset change, being open to the possibilities of doing things differently? What did 2020 teach you? For me, my learning was that I can never be responsible for other people's health. This is a lesson that has actually been a few years in the making, but 2020 actually sealed it for me. And I think this is something that happens to most women. We somehow feel responsible for everybody in the world. But I realized that I can only be responsible for myself. I might try to help others, give suggestions, recommendations, and stuff like that. But the person needs to take charge of themselves, right? And I cannot force my decisions on them. So, what is it for you? What did you learn?
Akhila, can I go first? Srikanth here.
No, we don't. I mean, if you want to share it, you can go ahead, Shikantana, but we don't expect you to share it. It's just for your own reflection. If you wish to, you can definitely share. But I'm just telling so that everybody else also understands.
Nanmam here, you can give some 5 minutes or 3 minutes to each, whoever wants to share at the end of the session.
Yeah, we can definitely do that.
Yeah, so that whoever wants to share, they can share and others may be benefited by their thoughts.
Absolutely, absolutely. Cool. It looks like most of you are done. So with these two prompts for 2020, let us close this chapter of our lives. So this last exercise, we will not be writing it down, we will just be feeling it, right? So I want you all to again close your eyes and breathe deeply for a few moments. So sitting straight, closing your eyes, taking a few long deep breaths in and a few long deep breaths out. Now I want you all to think about who or what you're grateful for in 2020. Who or what are you thankful to God for sending you in 2020? Maybe it is health. Most of us did not get COVID. Maybe it is the doctors and the healthcare workers, our frontline teams, maybe the government for handling an unforeseen situation relatively well. Maybe your friends and family who helped you during the lockdown. Maybe all those strangers from Amazon and Swiggy and your local stores who helped you with deliveries. Maybe there were people who could be around for your loved ones when you could not be. Maybe you're grateful to all those teachers who learned new technology skills, invested way more hours than normal, and taught your children on Zoom. Maybe you're thankful you kept your job or your business survived. Maybe you're grateful to your maid. Maybe you're grateful to the hundreds of volunteers and organizations that helped out people affected by it. All those migrant workers, and so many people that got affected. Who are you grateful for, or what are you grateful for? Send your thanks to all of these people, wishing them well. Send out golden beams of light from your heart to all these people. Thank God or any divine power that you believe in for all the good things you received in 2020. Slowly blink open your eyes. So that's, with that we close our reflection on 2020. If any of you want to share something about your experience today or anything in general, please go ahead.
Can I, Akhila, for 2 minutes?
Yes, please.
2020 to me was not a very encouraging year overall, but get a lot of self-confidence to face any difficult situation, handling the situation to the best of my ability, because we had a very super senior person at home and we ourselves were seniors, our seniors, and other youngsters were there, and I had to take care of the community people also sometimes when this pandemic attacked our apartment. So I gained a lot of experience, and that gave me a lot of self-confidence. And each day I used to reflect on the glory of God and how small we are before the nature, and all that used to come to my mind. Like as you said, no, you keep a diary. I have a habit of just reflecting on what I did from morning to evening,
Yes.
lying down on the bed before going to,
Very good practice. Yeah.
so entire pictures will come before my eyes like a screen. There I will just see what I could have done or what I did was wrong, or like that. I reflect almost every day for so many years I do that. And in between sometimes I just get my sleep, and that is one way of getting sleep also. And there were some problems during these times, and these things helped me. And to whom you are thankful for. So according to me, here the community in which I am living was very helpful to us, and we did not have much to worry if something comes, because we handle it properly. So I am very much thankful to the community in which Mango Grove Apartments, and people around us who helped, like our auto fellow, like our milk fellow, like our maid, all
Yes.
this, they are all our extended family. So I'm thankful to them, and I'm also thankful to many youngsters, many old friends, and among our relatives who called us by video calls, or maybe just audio. This one, and so many people whom we had not heard for years, they called to inquire, "How are you? How are you? How are you?" So that boosted a lot of confidence in us, and I came to know so many people like us. So many people want to know how we are. All these days they had never expressed. So many years had passed, but now they are calling, and some new contacts were established, and old contacts were renewed. I am thankful to all these people who spared and thought of us during these difficult times.
Yep.
And I am really thankful to our parents and our teachers and all who had taught us a lot of, to conduct ourselves in a disciplined way, disciplined life. So regarding food, regarding our health, primary things and all, we have been taught that way from childhood. So I'm really thankful, and all those things came to our rescue, and now in a new form. Wash your hands, wash your feet, change the clothes, this, that, and all that. So, and food, regarding food also, uh, to eat this or not to eat that, and all that. It is in a changed form, I thought, and it was not a very difficult for for me to think this pandemic is something very dangerous and all these things. We could, carry on with that. And lastly, but not the least, I am very much thankful to the present government, so which had helped and helped the people to the best possible extent under the given circumstances, thinking that is such a vast country, and they have handled the situation pretty well in this part of globe. So I'm really thankful, because I was always thinking of the US, how so many things. I'm sorry, people who are there, how and other areas where they have not handled it properly. I thought they gave, probably I was thinking, gave importance to economics, and not for the lives of the people, importance to the lives of the people. Whereas even though our economy is very much affected, our government gave importance to the lives of the people, and they tried to save with the bare minimum resources. So I am thankful to the government. So this is all what I wish to say.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Cool. With that, we'll move to the second part of this exercise, which is an intention setting exercise. If you want to all, get up, walk around a little, or have a sip of your water or anything, please do that. You can continue to listen as we move into this next part. So this part is intention setting. It's slightly different from a New Year's resolution, in my opinion. At least the way I did it, New Year's resolutions many years ago, was that it would be a random, spur of the moment thought that would come on December 31st night. Okay, next year I will lose weight, or I will do this or something like that, right? And it was just like the next new shiny object that we all want to chase, right? So it was that kind of experience of setting New Year's resolutions. But an intention, on the other hand, is a deliberate practice. It's very mindful, right? So, and I'm using the word intention here, the English word, as an equivalent or a meaning of the Sanskrita word, which is sankalpa. Now, sankalpa in yogic philosophy means a heartfelt desire or a solemn vow to yourself, right? And it's a resolve to do something. It's a positive affirmation that we say to ourselves in a meditative practice. Now, you've all heard this word before, right? Where have you heard this word? Sankalpa. You'll have to unmute yourself.
Puja, sankalpa, and we do the puja,
yeah,
right?
That
Yeah.
is
That is what exactly I was going to say, or said actually. Any beginning of any puja or anything like that, we do this sankalpa,
Yes.
to see, what should be the outcome and what I'm going to do.
Yes, absolutely. Anybody knows a sankalpa that is said at puja?
That is
Good.
fine.
I was thinking if any of you have, I've heard it many times and I've kind of know it. So if I'm guessing if Murli Bappa was on the call, he could have, told off some of those things that you typically hear in a puja, right? When you go to a temple, um, you're standing in front of God, and like you all said, you are telling that this is the outcome I want, and you are stating it with so much positive intent, and you're feeling as if you've already achieved it, right? And you're in the presence of a divine being, so there is no question of failure, right? There is there's nothing in your mind that you think, okay, this may or may not happen. You feel that this will happen. You're asking it of your Lord, and you're stating it with so much faith. So that is a sankalpa, right? And that's exactly what we will do today. So we will try to set our intention in that mode with full conviction and feeling, as if we already have it. So with that said, a few practical pointers on the sankalpa. So today what we will do, is set a direction for you, right? So you may set a sankalpa to do something or to achieve something, but you may still feel the need to detail out some of these things later on outside this practice and carve them out as goals or action items for yourself. You'll see, what I mean as we go through the exercise. So the sankalpa is not really a set of I will do this, this, and this to achieve this kind of a thing, right? So the sankalpa is just saying, this is what I want to be, or this is that, and typically it is more long term. It is more in terms of your own, spiritual development. But we'll not go so deeply into it. We will do something specific to our lives, and let this sankalpa settle in your mind over the next few days or weeks, because you're all doing this, for the first time now. I mean, having not thought about it for the new year as such, right? So you might feel that you might think about it over the next couple of days or weeks and see how you'll feel about your sankalpa, and let it settle in your mind. Or if there are new pointers that you had not thought about while doing today's exercise, you may find something else later, or remember something else later. So your sankalpa may change. So let it settle in and see how you are feeling, and then use that for the rest of the year. And like I was telling earlier, the sankalpa usually will not change, but over the course of the year, you might find new ways to achieve it, right? You might carve out different action items for yourself. Again, just to remind you, this is a very private exercise. Only you are in charge. So feel free to think about what is it that you want to achieve. Nobody gets to tell you what you should do, or where you should go and stuff like that. So with that, on the intention setting, what we will do is we are going to categorize our lives into 4 areas. So that is home, mind, body, and soul. And we will set intentions for each of them. So this way of setting intentions I've been doing only since last year. Even though earlier I used to have my goals or intentions in all areas of life, but I felt that this was a little more structured and a nice way, where you can deliberately focus on one particular area and think about what you want to do in 2021. Right. So let me give you a little bit of information on what I mean by these 4 words. Right. So home is your physical home, but it is also the people and things that make home, right? So it is your relationships with your spouse, your parents, kids, family, friends, community, all of these things. It could also be related to the home or the house itself, right? So if you want to build a new house or move into a new house, or or it's about your garden or your puja room or whatever it is, right? It's something about your home and things that make, or people that make home, right? So that is home. The second aspect of our life is mind, and mind is how we create our reality, right? It is our studies. We study something and we use that to create our reality, right? So it is our profession, it is our work, it's our business, it's our career, It's about money. It is about all of these things. It is how you've created your life, your reality. It could be about your hobbies, your creative pursuits, any new things that you're learning. All of these things is the mind. The third aspect is your body. And body is your physical body, the vehicle that is needed to achieve all your goals and take you forward in this journey, right? So that is the easy part of it. And the fourth aspect is soul, is about our spirituality. It is about, your connect with your divine, your meditation practice, prayer, puja, chanting, maybe being in nature, being in service of others, however you feel connected with the divine, right? What is it that you do to feel connected with the divine? That is the last aspect, which is soul or spirit, or whatever you want to call it. So now we will set 3 intentions for each of these areas, right? So we will go one by one and we will set intentions for each of them. Now you may have more ideas or more intentions in one particular area of your life versus something else. So that is fine. The only rule of thumb here is don't have too many intentions that you will feel overwhelmed later, right? So try to stick to a small number. So if you even think of 3 intentions, so you will totally have 12 at the end of this practice, right? So in each of these areas. 12 is also quite a big number if you think about it, right? So, but choose a number depending on how you feel about that area, right? So maybe some areas of your life you have more intentions, some areas you may have 1 or 2 or something. But ensure that you are thinking about all of these areas. Good. So with that, we'll start with the home area of your life. So think about how this area was for you in 2020. How's your relationships with your spouse, your parents, your kids, your family, your friends, your community? Did you miss out on any of these relationships, or do any of these relationships need investment? Do you need to work hard at some of them? Or are you planning to buy a new house or build a new house or move into a new house? Or have you moved into a different city, or will you be moving? How do you want this home to be? So think about the home area of your life and write down 3 things, 3 intentions for you for 2021. So as you're all thinking or writing about it, just to share my experience, for me, it has been my garden space. Today it has a few plants, everything that grows despite me. But I plan to be a little more intentional in 2021 with my plants. And, I want to learn, just about 5 vegetables. How can I grow them in my balcony? So that's one of my intentions in the home area. The other area is my relationship with Damu. I feel that in 2020, he really invested a lot into, understanding, working alongside me. And I don't know about you all, but 2020 definitely tested our, marital ties. So, with, and that was of course for a short period of time with no maid, too much cooking, both of us at home and so on. But Damu really put in a lot of effort to understand and work along with me and so on. But I feel that I sometimes hold, past grudges against him. I'm quick to temper. So in 2021, my intention is to be more positive, have more empathy, and communicate non-violently with him. So if we do this session again in 2022, you can all ask him how I fared on this one. So what is it for you?
Non-violent communication could probably be a session on its own, I guess.
You can think about doing it, Mridula.
Am I audible?
Yes, Anand.
I said something now. Was I muted at that time?
Yes, you were.
I just add the relationship part of it within the home. So should be reflected on daily basis, weekly basis, and on an ongoing basis, so that we definitely keep improving day by day, and we will have very good results at the end of the year.
Very good tip.
I think we should also lower our expectations of others, what they are going to do. We have to increase the expectations of ourselves. And like you said, holding grudge is a very bad thing. I think we all should improve on just forgive and forget and move past.
Yes, very true.
And I think in marital relationships, I think it's a good idea to just follow us. No. Yeah, just
Good one.
Yeah,
Nice.
I think you had a marriage anniversary, Nava. Anaka and Yogeshana.
Way go.
Yes.
Way.
Happy marriage
Thank
anniversary.
you.
Belated.
Thank you.
Thanks.
So
Thank
we
you.
need to
It
follow
will be
you.
remembered in history.
Yeah.
No, it will be remembered in history. Mridula knows.
Yeah. So sweet.
Our people may be still writing down. I don't know what.
Yeah.
So yeah, if most of you are done, we'll move on to the next space. Are we all okay? Give a thumbs up.
Mind.
Okay, good. Very good. So let's move on to the next area, which is our mind, right? So the mind is all about creative energy, right? What you want to create for yourself by studying about something, by working on something. So it's your studies, your profession, your career, you're making money, all of these areas, right? So how was this in 2020 and what do you want to do differently in 2021? Maybe you want a new job or you want to start a new business or maybe you want to do something about your existing business or your existing job. Maybe you're studying or you want to go back to higher studies or you want to learn a new skill, right? Maybe you want to become a dancer or an artist, or maybe you are an artist or and you want to pursue this knowledge deeply, or any of the skills that you have, right? Or you may want to teach others something that you know. So what does the mind mean for you, and what are some of your intentions for 2021? For me, I typically have a large list of things in this area. I want to continue to study about yoga, about health, especially about women's health. And another area is I want to, along with Mridula, conduct 18 sessions of this Kaleidoscope series this year. So I hope she has written down this intention as well. And since I'm in a new company, I want to establish myself, build good connections. So these are some of my intentions in the mind area of life. So think about you, your life, what do you want to do in 2021? If you're all done, shall we move to the next area? Show of thumbs up if you're done. Good.
Oh,
Yeah. Thank you.
she shows that's enough.
I assume that both of you were done.
Yeah, if she's done, I'm done.
Yet another example, nahi, Manu, of following your marital life.
So
and
now I have
advice.
to think of a different intention.
I know.
Awesome. So let's move on to the next area, which is our body, right? Only one that we get for this lifetime. The only thing that allows us to achieve everything that we want, this fabulous, miraculous body of ours. The only true friend that is with us till the very end, right? And the only true friend that will protect us no matter what, even from ourselves. So, how do you feel in your body? Of course, each day is different, but overall, how do you feel in your body? How do you want to feel in your body? Is there something you want to heal from? Is there a particular part of your body that needs more attention? What is your intention in this area of your life? And you may not know exactly how to go about doing certain things or fix something about your health or your body. Your intention just needs to be about what you want. The answers will come to you, right? You will somehow do the research, you will somehow meet the person who can help you, you will try out new things. So if you set an intention, the rest of the things will fall in place. So write about how you want to feel in your body, what you want to do in 2021. With that, if you're all done, we can move to the next and the last area of our lives. Thumbs up. Okay, you're muted, Anumay.
I did want to say that while we were doing things about the body, it's important that we need to realize that there's a mind and body connection.
Yes.
Okay, so.
Very true. And some of these things are kind of intertwined, right? So it's up
Yes.
to yourself where you want to put some of these items. Sometimes, like you said, something that you want to do for your body may also be about calming your mind and things like that, right? So some of these things are connected. Good. We'll move on to the last area, which is which is what I've called soul, but it's not really in the Sanskrita word of the it's just the English word that I'm using. Basically, what I'm trying to mean here is your connection with the divine, right? You may not believe in God, but you may certainly believe in a higher power, right? So how do you connect with that power? It could be your daily puja or chanting or meditation, or you may perform volunteer service, you may help others, you may be in nature, you may like to go for walks, or watch the sunrise, sunsets, you may tend to your garden, and so on, right? So what is your idea of the divine and how you connect with it? And what are some areas and some intentions that you want to set for yourself in this area for 2021? For me, this is a area where I really want to work, put more efforts in 2021.
Oh, that's good.
I actually, had a meditation practice in 2019, and that completely came unhinged in 2020. So, and of course, I also used to volunteer at a school nearby, and that also stopped because of COVID. So, this is an area I really want to restart in 2021. I want to restart my meditation practice. I want to look at ways where I can help others and feel useful. So what is it for you? Write down your intentions for this area. Good. Is everyone done? Can we have a show of thumbs up? Awesome. So good job, everyone. So we looked at 4 areas of our life, and we set intentions for each of these things, very mindfully, very deliberately. Very good job. We have a little bit more to go. So I want you all to stay with your intentions for a few moments, right? So keep looking at that sheet of paper where you've written down all your intentions. And let it kind of settle in your mind, let it sink into your mind, and see how you feel about it. Do you see a pattern to it, or do you have a feeling about it? Did something pop into your mind? Maybe there is one particular area that is taking on a little more importance, like maybe health or money or love or any of those areas. And think about 1 or 2 or 3 words that are coming to you right now as you look at your own intentions. What are some of the words that are coming to you in your mind's eye? It could be love. Maybe you want to love more, or maybe you want to feel loved. It could be simplicity if you're feeling overwhelmed. It could be success. It could be health. Anything that's coming to you as you look at your intentions for the year. Write down these words, these 1 or 2 or 3 words that's coming to you right now. Any feelings or words, it could be either. And these words, right, you can make it into a sentence, like an affirmation. And that is your overarching sankalpa for this year, right? So if you're thinking about love, I'm loved is your sankalpa. I'm healthy. I am successful. I am happy. I am free. I am intentional. I am purposeful. So whatever are these words that have come to you, think of 1 or 2 words and make that into a sentence, which is in the present tense. And that is your sankalpa for this year. So now that we have our words, we will do a small meditation practice to seal in this sankalpa. Okay, so you can all sit straight. You can lie down and do this as well, as long as you can be awake. So sitting straight, closing your eyes. Take a few deep breaths in and out. And let your breathing ease normally to a regular breath. Now take your awareness to all the sounds around you. Sound of me talking, sounds in the room, in the street outside. Listen to as many different sounds as you can, not thinking about the source of the sound, but just going from sound to sound. Perhaps you can hear your breath. Any sound that you can hear around you. Keep moving from sound to sound. Now state to yourself in your mind the sankalpa that you just made, the sentence that you just made with those 1 or 2 words. I'm happy and healthy. I'm healthy and loving. I'm free. I'm intentional. I'm purposeful. Whatever is your word, state your sankalpa to yourself with full conviction as if it has already happened, as if you have already received it or achieved it. Just like how you would hear a sankalpa in the puja. Repeat it thrice with the feeling of having already achieved it. Now let's take our awareness to our body now. So take your awareness to your feet, to your lower legs, to your knees, to your upper legs, your torso, your shoulders, your arms, your neck, your head, and your face. Doing it one more time, rotating our consciousness throughout our body, taking your awareness to your feet now, your lower legs, your knees, your upper legs, your torso, your shoulders, your arms, your neck, your head, and your face. Bring your awareness to your breath now. Trying not to make any changes and just observing how it is today. Observe your breath as it enters and leaves your body. Now let's visualize a few things in your mind's eye. The Chidakasha. Visualize or imagine a red rose, a beautiful temple, lush green gardens, the still waters of a lake, tall and majestic mountains, the fragrance of jasmine, the aroma of your favorite dish, the taste of your favorite dish, the touch of your loved one, the sound of chirping birds, the waves of an ocean. Visualize yourself having achieved your sankalpa by the end of this year. How are you feeling? What are you doing? Where are you? State your sankalpa again to yourself thrice, knowing that a sankalpa made in a meditation or a yoga nidra is always achieved, is always manifested. Slowly bring back your awareness back to your surroundings now. Remember where you're sitting down. Bring your awareness back to your body. Breathe deeply to break the stillness of your body. So long deep breath in and a long deep breath out. Make small movements in your hands and feet. Bring your palms into Namaskara Mudra. We'll chant Om once, so inhale deeply. And as you exhale, Om. Rub your palms against each other. Place them on your eyes and slowly blink open your eyes. Thank you. May the divine be with you. I'm so grateful all of you went on this journey with me, and I'm certain you will all achieve your sankalpas. So that's the end of today's practice. And now we can use some time to, talk about it, share your experiences. And if you want to share your sankalpas, let's talk about it now.
Thank you, Akhila. Very good presentation.
Yeah, I second.